It's free to call, just to chat to see if what your concern is has legal implications, so that you are informed and know your rights as you proceed in life.
Wow, that is amazing. I'm here. We have another episode of EIC, Entrepreneurial Impromptu Conversations, and I have the esteemed privilege to be here with a historic Black-owned law firm. The individual that's representing is going to introduce himself, and we're going to have a conversation.
Hi, my name is Michael Cobbs. I'm a partner with Brown Hutchinson Law Firm. We've been in business for 32 years. I've been an attorney for 30 years. And we're a full-service law firm. We handle everything. If you have any legal needs, feel free to give us a call. It's a pleasure to be speaking with my brother here today.
Right. So, dialing it back a little bit, you're a lawyer for 30 years. What inspired you to even become a lawyer from a young age?
Well, to be honest, when you're young, you're honest with us. You don't always know what you want to be. But there's some experiences in my life that shaped that decision. So I saw injustice around me. In African Americans in this country, growing up in the 80s, late 70s and 80s, you see things that touch you, that shape you. And I saw discrimination. I saw treatments of people that looked like me that wasn't the same. Even friends of mine who were a different race and color. So that inspired me. I said, if I can become an attorney, I can fight social injustice. I can fight the law.
Yeah.
And so that's what inspired me to be an attorney.
So what
Personal experience.
So what age did you become an attorney? Here in Rochester?
Right. I became an attorney in 94. Obviously, once you pass the bar, you can practice. And if you don't pass the bar, then all that education and money spent is for nothing.
It's for nothing. So you do a variety of things. You're a jack of all trades. In the law field, what is your specialty?
Okay, my specialty is litigation. I defend people in court, and I defend people in court. And when you are a litigator, there's certain skill set that goes into that. You need to be able to communicate ideas and concepts and law to juries who are just everyday average people. And you need to break down, the law in terms that can be understood by a jury. That's who's going to decide the case. My first job right out of law school, I went to a firm with 7 attorneys in a small town, but 7 attorneys, that's a big firm for a little town.
Okay.
So in those little towns, you got your divorce, we handled your speeding ticket, we handled your business incorporation, we did your will. So I came to this firm with attorneys that had 40, 50 years of experience, and here I am, early 20s. Okay. I absorbed it. I learned it all because I've always had a thirst for knowledge. And so that served me well later in my years as an attorney because I've done so many different type of things. And sometimes there's an interplay. And sometimes, handling a speeding ticket before or a divorce can help me in a business, lawsuit.
Yeah, because you're breaking down or dividing property and things of that nature.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And in a divorce, if you own a business, that business is one of the assets. So I gotta know something about business law and how businesses work, or how am I going to be as effective as I would want to be in representing a party in a divorce if I don't know what's involved in a business. I don't know where is the money, where does the money go? Because in a divorce, dividing assets, dividing money is a critical, is a critical
situation.
Right,
Being able
right.
to litigate that
Right.
and come to the meeting of minds is a skill.
Right, absolutely. So I'm a litigator, which allows me to do a lot of different types of law. Everything from business disputes between partners, and when business relationship goes bad, personal injury, car accident cases, that litigation can touch any area of law.
So before I met you here at this conference, I met one of your colleagues, and she said something significant about your firm. That is one of the largest minority owned firms in. What's the scale?
Yeah. Well, certainly New York State. Where our main offices are in Rochester, but historically we've had offices in New York City, offices in Buffalo. Okay. So if you look at that geographical range, New York City to Buffalo is essentially the whole state.
Got it.
So we're one of the largest, if not the largest, solely black-owned firms in New York State. We've represented 7 of the top Fortune 10 companies, all the way down to the guy living on the street. It's all the same. Everybody gets first-rate service. Everybody deserves zealous advocacy and an attorney. We are also the very first MWBE law firm.
Really?
First law firm in New York State to be MWBE-certified.
Wow, that's amazing. That had to take some trench digging and some, a lot to qualify, because the process way back when was egregious.
Absolutely.
To say the least. They've kind of mitigated that and make it easy for a company to go through that process. It used to take years.
Right.
Kind of narrowed it down to maybe 90, 30, 60 days now.
Right.
But that's a feat to and to remain and to stay certified. So how long has that been?
That's been, I believe, about 20 years or so.
Wow, that's amazing. Right. That's on a day-to-day basis. You wake up. What makes you tick? What makes Michael Cobbs tick on a day-to-day basis?
What makes me tick is that I do like what I do. And if you don't like what you do, I mean, it's a tough go. Okay, tough go. But I do like what I do because I do get to work with people. I get to work with businesses, and that is something that I like and thrive on. Not for everybody, because dealing with people, as we know, dealing with people in our everyday lives, sometimes that can get challenging.
Oh yeah,
sometimes that can get challenging. But I think God made me in a way that I'm able to navigate challenges, even when dealing with clients or adversaries. I'm a down-to-earth person. I'd like to say I'm a mild-mannered person when dealing with people, and that has served me well. Got to be a bulldog in that courtroom. So it's a time for that, and I'm well equipped for that as well. But that makes me to getting up, being able to serve clients, solve a legal need. People come to lawyers because there's a legal issue or problem. Otherwise, I would not be in business. And, people, we're probably not. People don't wake up every day and say, "Hey, I want to go see a lawyer." Maybe you love your doctor, not so much with us attorneys, but we serve an important function. But that's why I do it, because I want to help people solve legal needs and problems.
What would you say to an inspiring young person that thinks they have the knack to be or want to be a lawyer and be in your shoes one day?
Well, what I would do, first thing you do, is just reach out to your local bar association. The bar association is an organization where most members of legal community, lawyers in the community, are part of that. And just say, "Hey, I'd like to shadow an attorney. I'd like to speak with an attorney." And I think before you make that decision, that you should sort of test it out without any liability or strings attached. Okay. If you're just a high school student or middle school student and you think you're interested in the law, do your research. And with the internet, it's much easier. When I was coming up, the internet was kind of really, it certainly wasn't what it is today.
You had a law library full of books.
Right.
That you had to, if you wanted to be an effective lawyer, you needed to do make sure you did your research before to that area.
Right.
It was a daunting process. Now you have everything at your hand.
At your fingertips online. But I would say try before you buy.
Got it.
Because there's some things, you see on TV. You see TV lawyers, and you may think that's how it is in real life. And it's not always match up. There's some things that are different. There are some things that are the same.
Okay.
Of course, on TV, Hollywood is going to put its mark on it. It's just sensationalize it sometimes.
Yeah, it's not a microwave.
Right.
Microwave 30-minute solving every case.
Right, absolutely. There's no, there's not always that Perry Mason moment where a surprise witness bursts through the courtroom and breaks the whole case wide open and wins it for it.
So, you've been in a lawyer for 30 years. What's one of the most memorable cases where you feel that you really needed it?
Well, and I have a lot of memorable. Sure. A lot of memorable cases. One of my most memorable recent cases was I had a young man, a young African-American man, found himself in a bad situation. He was homeless, destitute, ends up having to move in with a friend that he grew up with, and this friend was involved in some activities that my client knew nothing about. My client ended up getting charged with crime he didn't commit. It had nothing to do with it, and I'll just put it out there. There were drugs found in a house, and he's just a guess. He has no idea drugs are there, so he gets caught up in all of that, and he ends up getting charged. Thank God the charges are later dismissed because he was innocent from day one. But anyway, what happened is he gets assaulted by security guards at a hospital wanting to visit a friend who's sick with sickle cell. He gets beat up and roughed up by security guards. We put in a claim. We tried to settle the case for nuisance, for pennies, just to prove a point. Yeah. They wouldn't settle. They tried to call my client a drug dealer and he's a bad person, and none of it was true. And so they forced this thing to trial, and we wiped the floor with him at trial and got a $500,000 verdict. That's just.
Oh, wow.
That's
so
just.
No longer homeless.
He's no longer homeless. Needless to say.
Wow.
So just stories like that where the justice system works the way it's supposed to do, because it doesn't always work the way it's supposed to, especially people of African-American heritage. We know the struggle that our ancestors had with equality and justice. And to see the justice system work, and you have, and the jury got it right, that's memorable to me. And that's what drives me to do this. When I can get a little piece of justice for somebody, in this community that is marginalized, mistreated, not in the best of circumstances, and to get a little justice for them, Now
you have some people that are maybe in our shoes that may look like us, that may need a lawyer. Throughout the process, how does one know to reach out to you?
Okay, I would say, first of all, the first sign of trouble, the first time you get the inkling that something is not right, whether it's in your business, in your school, interact with law enforcement, call a lawyer. Call a lawyer, know what your rights are and responsibilities. If you don't know better, you can't do that. About everything in life could potentially have legal consequences. And because of that, don't play around. Call a lawyer. I
learned a lot from this conversation, and it's the first and certainly not going to be the last. And I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us. Can you speak 30 seconds to the camera for an individual who maybe wanted to reach out to your friend? 30-second bit.
Yes. Absolutely. So again, I'm Mike Cobbs, the partner with Brown Hutchinson Law Firm. I've been an attorney 30 years. We've been in business 32 years. If you have any legal needs, whether it's labor employment, you're having problems on the job, with supervisors, with vendors, customers, if you feel your rights have been violated by civil servants such as police, if any, we're a full service law firm. So anything that could touch and concern law, please give us a call at 585-454-5050, 585-454-5050. Feel free to reach out to me at mcobbs, MCOBBS, at brownhutchinson.com. It's free to call, just to chat, to see if what your concern is has legal implications, so that you are informed and know your rights as you proceed in life.
Wow, that is amazing. This has been another episode of EIC, Impromptu Conversations. Please like and subscribe and contact this amazing firm. This man is passionate about what he does. And if you're in a situation where you're questioning, please give them a call. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you at the next episode of EIC, Impromptu Conversations.
Thank you.